Have you ever noticed something strange? You stop texting someone first. You stop checking on them. You stop trying to keep the conversation alive. You stop asking when you are going to meet. And suddenly, they seem to notice you more. The person who used to take hours to reply may start responding faster. Someone who rarely initiated conversations may suddenly check on you. A person who seemed comfortable with your constant attention may begin wondering why you became quiet. But does this mean they suddenly care about you more? Not necessarily. In this video, we are going to break this behavior down into 6 psychological lessons. We will look at what changes when you stop chasing, why people sometimes respond differently when your attention becomes less available, and finally, the deeper lesson about self-respect that can completely change how you approach relationships. Stay until the final step, because the biggest insight is not really about making other people chase you. It is about what happens inside you when you stop needing someone else's attention to feel valued. And if you enjoy understanding human behavior in a deeper and healthier way, like this video, subscribe to Human Behavior Secrets and turn on notifications for more psychology content. Chasing someone usually means putting a lot of effort into maintaining a connection that may not be receiving the same level of effort in return. You are always starting the conversation, asking questions, checking whether they are okay, making plans, or trying to repair every moment of distance. Sometimes this happens because you genuinely care. But sometimes, beneath the surface, there may also be a fear of losing the person's attention. When you suddenly stop chasing, the social dynamic can change. The important thing is that this does not automatically mean the other person is manipulative, selfish, or secretly obsessed with you. People behave differently for many reasons, and context matters. So let's look at what may actually be happening. Step 1. Your attention is no longer guaranteed. When someone becomes used to receiving your attention can start feeling normal. You send the first message. You ask how their day went. You keep the conversation going. You are always available. Because this pattern becomes familiar, the other person may stop noticing the effort behind it. Then you become less available. Suddenly, there is a change. The person may notice that the usual messages are missing. They may wonder whether something happened or whether your feelings have changed. This is partly about attention and expectation. Humans tend to notice changes in patterns more easily than patterns that remain constant. So sometimes, stopping the chase does not magically make you more valuable. It simply makes your previous effort visible because it is no longer there. And that leads to the second psychological shift. Step 2. Uncertainty can increase attention. When the future of a social connection becomes uncertain, people may pay more attention to it. Imagine someone who always expects you to reply quickly. Then one day, you stop initiating every conversation. They may begin asking themselves questions. Are they busy? Are they losing interest? Did I do something wrong? Why haven't I heard from them? Notice something important here. Uncertainty does not automatically mean love or genuine care. It simply means the previous pattern has changed. And when people do not know what a change means, they may become more attentive to the situation. This is why you should be careful about interpreting every sudden message as proof that someone values you deeply. Their reaction tells you that they noticed the change. It does not automatically tell you why they noticed it. Step 3. The social balance becomes more visible. Relationships are easier to understand when you pay attention to effort over time. If you stop doing all the initiating, you may finally see whether the other person also makes an effort. This is one of the most useful things about stepping back. You are not necessarily playing a game. You are observing. For example, imagine that you have a friend you always invite out. Every weekend, you are the one saying, "Let's meet." Then you stop making plans. If the friendship matters to both people, the other person may eventually suggest meeting. But if nothing happens for a long time, you may discover that you were carrying most of the relationship. The uncomfortable part is that stepping back can reveal information you were previously too busy to notice. And sometimes, that information is more valuable than another conversation. Step 4. Your behavior can change your self-perception. There is another psychological effect that is easy to miss. When you constantly chase someone's approval, your attention becomes focused outward. You start asking, do they like me? Why haven't they replied? Am I doing enough? What can I do to make them stay? But when you stop chasing, your attention can gradually return to yourself. You may start thinking about your own goals, friendships, work, interests, and boundaries. You begin to realize that your life does not have to revolve around one person's response. That shift can also affect how you communicate. Instead of desperately trying to maintain connection, you may become calmer and more intentional. And people can sometimes respond differently when they sense that someone is no longer desperately seeking approval. But there is an even deeper reason. Step 5. People may respond to change boundaries. When you stop chasing, you may also stop accepting behavior that you previously tolerated. You might no longer send 5 messages after receiving no response. You might stop canceling your plans whenever someone suddenly becomes available. You might stop explaining yourself repeatedly to someone who does not listen. These are boundaries, and boundaries communicate something important. My time and emotional energy matter too. Healthy boundaries do not exist to punish people. They create a clearer picture of what you are willing to participate in. Sometimes, when your behavior changes, another person adjusts because the relationship itself has changed. They may become more intentional, or they may pull away. Either reaction gives you useful information. And now we reach the most important lesson. Step 6. The goal is not to make them chase you. This is where many people misunderstand the psychology. The goal of stopping the chase should not be to make someone panic. It should not be a strategy to create jealousy, punish someone with silence, or make them desperate for your attention. That simply turns a relationship into a psychological game. The deeper lesson is this. Stop chasing people who consistently show you that they do not want to meet you halfway. There is a major difference between pursuing someone you genuinely care about and repeatedly trying to convince someone to value you. Healthy relationships require mutual effort. That does not mean every day will be perfectly equal. One person may give more during difficult periods, and the balance can change naturally. But over time, there should be some sense of reciprocity. You should not have to constantly prove that you deserve someone's attention. So if you stop chasing and someone comes closer, observe their behavior carefully. Are they actually becoming more consistent? Are they communicating better? Are they making genuine effort? Or did they simply react because your attention became less available? Those are very different things. And remember, if someone does not come back, that does not automatically mean you lost something valuable. Sometimes stepping back simply reveals what was already there. Conclusion. So, why do people sometimes treat you differently when you stop chasing them? Because your absence can make a familiar pattern noticeable. Uncertainty can increase attention. Stepping back can reveal the balance of effort. Your focus can return to yourself. And stronger boundaries can change the way people interact with you. But the biggest lesson is not about becoming difficult to get. It is about becoming emotionally secure enough to stop forcing connections that are not naturally mutual. You should not have to disappear just to find out whether someone cares. Instead, pay attention to consistent behavior. Words can change from one day to another, but patterns over time often tell you much more. Important things to remember. Remember these 4 ideas. First, when you stop chasing, people may notice the change, but their reaction does not automatically prove genuine interest. Second, stepping back can help you see whether effort in the relationship is mutual. Third, healthy boundaries are different from silent treatment or emotional games. And finally, your goal should not be to make someone chase you. Your goal should be to build relationships where both people genuinely want to show up. Now think about your own experience. Have you ever stopped chasing someone and suddenly noticed that their behavior toward you changed? What happened? Share your experience in the comments. Your story may help someone else understand their own situation more clearly. If this video helped you understand relationships and human behavior differently, like the video, subscribe to Human Behavior Secrets, and turn on notifications for more psychology insights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.